Hey, what's going on, all my concept thinkers? Absolutely good morning. I go by Mr. J. Howard. Today, we are going to talk about mastering rejection. As you can see, I'm still moving, so excuse the mess in the background. We're just going to take a ride and talk. I want to talk to you about mastering rejection. I want to talk to you about responding with confidence, even in tough situations, right? If you haven't already, please go ahead and like, subscribe, leave a comment down at the bottom. Once we get done talk, I want to continue this conversation. So, if you don't know, for the last 15 days or so, I go by Mr. J. Howard. I've been posting videos and we've been sharpening up our tools as it pertains to getting through with our success journey. So we've talked about goals and you know, how to handle adversity and roadblocks, and we've covered all of that stuff. And we've done it all on the way to work or on the way to wherever we're going, right? Just to make sure we can have that on the go conversation. It's been absolutely safe. I want all y'all to stay safe, and I want to jump straight into it. So let's dive in. So the first things first, I need you to always remember that rejection isn't personal. It goes just like that. It's not personal, right? A lot of times, you know, we find ourselves in situations where rejection is somewhat necessary, right? You know, in real estate, right? I've worked in real estate. I had a partner that was a realtor. And then, of course, I've flipped houses. I've done, you know, fix and hold, rental properties, wholesale, you name it, right? I've played around in that market. And here's the deal. When you put your house on the market, right, and you got your house up for sale and people are coming through and they give no feedback, there's no rejection. Everybody's like, they leave the property with the realtor. They're like, how you like the house? Good to go. Nothing, right? That almost puts you in a tough spot as a seller. Why? Because we need that feedback. We need to know, like, did they think the walls were too green? Did they think the walls were too blue? There's no such thing as too blue. But anyway, did they think that, you know, they didn't like the price point, right? They thought it was too high. They thought it was too low. They didn't like the neighborhood, and things that we can change as the seller in that situation. And you can apply this. This just doesn't go for real estate. Think about if you're selling a car, or you're or you go to an interview and you don't get any feedback, right? So listen, so they don't tell you what you can do to improve or tell you where their mindset is, right? So you leave that situation with this emptiness, right? Like, all right, was it good? Was it bad? And then you don't know how you can make adjustments. So take that part. That's the key, right? So now let's think about it. If you were at a job interview and there's the big position, there's 10 people fighting for it. It boils down to the last 3 people and you in the mix. And you all go in and you all interview and they tell you all the same thing. We appreciate you for coming. That's a tough spot. You don't know. You have no feedback. You have nothing to figure out. Do I need to adjust for the second round? Is there going to be a second round? Listen, sometimes rejection is just feedback. It's necessary feedback that you need, right? In a dating world. And I don't have a ton of experience in the dating world. I was married for quite some time, and then I dated a little bit after. But anyway, the point is, you need that rejection. You need that feedback, because rejection is going to let you know some things that maybe you missed. Maybe you weren't paying attention to. Maybe you were focused in one area, and in this rejection that comes in the form of feedback, right? Or that you transition over to a form of feedback is going to help you make the necessary adjustments you need to improve. And it's not personal. It's not personal at all, right? A lot of times it's helpful. So don't think of it like that. All right. So more rejection reflects the other person's needs, timing, or perspective, right? It's not telling you what your worth is. If you tell me that you're not feeling me like this because blah, 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 all right, cool. That's their value of that particular trait or asset or whatever the case that I may bring to that situation. You never should argue with a person if they tell you what values them, what's important value to them, and try to sell them on but I think my value is, nah, you know what I'm saying, right? People are going to notice your value. That's in any type of situation. Now, there are some times where you need to, quote unquote, put on a different outfit, where you need to step up and make sure you're displaying your value, your efforts, what you bring to the situation. I like to say, show your equity. Show what you bring to the table. If you can't sell that, or if I'm not shopping for it, so be it. right? Detach your identity from the outcome. Other people's opinions of you shouldn't be you, right? If their opinion of you matches up with what you're striving for, great. But you still have an inner you that they don't even know about, that they don't know. They can't look at you and tell you your capabilities. They can't look at you and tell you your limits. So why would you let rejection confuse you into a mindset to where you believe, oh my goodness, this is who I am now? They said I couldn't jump over that little itty bitty rock right there, so I guess I can't. No, go run to that rock and jump over it. Their opinion of you does not have to define who you actually are. Their limitations in their mind are theirs. Do not let that define, don't bring that to fruition. How are you going to give somebody else that much power over you? What are you thinking? All right? If you know anything about me, you know Mr. J. Howard is ambitious. I'm almost extremely aggressively ambitious. If I want to win, I'm dedicated. I'm going to put it in. I'm competitive. And you got to be the same way, right? Especially when it comes to facing rejection or feedback. Because I want y'all to, twist that around a little bit. Number 2, confidence comes from preparation. Point blank, period. I don't know a situation that I've walked into where being properly prepared didn't give me a leg up. I'm telling you, I'm on a bumpy road, so hopefully this is not going crazy, right? Being properly prepared will always give you a leg up on the situation. You go into an interview tomorrow, I want you to go practice that interview 100 times in the mirror. I want you to call some family and friends and be like, man, the last time you was on the interview, what type of questions did they ask you? Make it hard too. And you take those questions and you jot them down and you put yourself in that situation. Look in that mirror and say something like, so if you could pick any animal, what animal would you be? I don't know why everybody gets stumped on that question, right? That is an opportunity for you to sell you. And I'm not going to get off on this and just talk about interviewing because I did that in another video. So if y'all want that feedback from somebody that's been in HR for years, go take a look at it. But listen, that's your opportunity to sell you. No one can tell you what animal you want to be. If you want to be a lion, you want to be a lion. Why? Because you like its hair? Because you like the sounds it makes? Because you like how fast it is, how strong it is, the fact that it's the king of the jungle? What do you like about it? How do those attributes relate to what you offer? What are you going to bring to my team? That person that's there giving you feedback, guess what they can't say? Nah, I don't think you'll be a good lion. They can't do what? How do you know what type of lion I am? Right? And I'm not saying liars, some liars out there, but that's not what I'm talking about today. All right. So keeping it moving. You got to know your value before you ask or present something. You knew you was a lion. You got to own that. You got to own it before you offer it to somebody. How you going to sell me on something that you don't even believe in? You absolutely have to take advantage of the pre-work. The pre-work is important. Do you believe that you're the best candidate for this position? Do you believe that you're the best husband, father, mother, wife, girlfriend? Do you believe that? Do you believe you're done with your past enough to move on? Y'all gonna get me off topic. I'm trying to stay on topic, right? All right, so check it out. When you are confident in what you bring, rejection doesn't shake you. I knew I was a lion before I walked in here. What you mean, sir? What you mean, ma'am? I'm not a lion. Yes. See this tattoo? Like, I am a lion, right? All right, we got that. Number 3, learn, don't linger. What do I mean by that? I'm gonna break that down into 2 points, right? I want you to ask yourself, what can I learn from this? If somebody's giving you feedback or they're rejecting your idea or they're rejecting you, whatever the case may be, what can you learn from this? What can you grasp from this situation? What was triggering for them to get to a no or a rejection, right? Is it something that, is it just not a good fit for them? Or is there really something that you can improve on, right? So you got to break that down. You got to do that analysis, right? That's important. If you skip that step, you're missing out on so much valuable information. It's so crazy, right? So I am finishing my master's in organizational management. And just like a couple days ago, we did a project, and the project was on Starbucks and this feedback program. God, I'm so sorry. I hope none of my professors see this. I forgot the name of the project, but there was a project we did, and it was this initiative that Starbucks used to have. Man, I can't remember. And it was about getting feedback from consumers. And what they would do was they created like this forum, this website where everybody who was a Starbucks customer could go on there and they could put all their ideas. I want a mocha latte iced, cinnamon bun, hot wing flavored buffalo cheese coffee, right? They can go on there and put that, and then people can go on there and vote on, or comment, like, did they like it, did they not like it, or they could just reject it, and they can go crazy, like, ew, no, I don't want that, blah, 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 right? All right, so listen, once you get that feedback, what are you learning from it, right? They shut it down because it was really hard to monitor and keep the bad actors out, right? It was too many people putting spam and all kind of crazy stuff on it. But that is such an opportunity to get that feedback, right? And I'm not going to linger on that feedback. I'm going to take it. What can I learn from it? I'm going to filter it. Remember, we talked about that in a previous video. I'm going to filter the information that's coming in, right? And then I'm going to add some common sense to it. I'm going to add some logical sense to it, right? Which way do I need to go, etc. Each no refines your approach and gets you closer to the right yes. So in network marketing, we learned something. Essentially, especially in sales, you want to go after, and this is my math, you do it how you want to, you need to be chasing at least 10 no's for one yes. Why do you want to know? Because you're getting feedback. Hey, I like it. You sound great. The presentation was amazing. That's just too expensive for me. Excuse me. All right, cool. Hey, I like it, but I don't feel comfortable. You're not in the right location to offer me this service. Whatever the case may be, right? That rejection is going to help you. You're going to get that necessary feedback, and then you're talking to more people. You're getting it out there. Just because a person says no right then don't mean it's no forever. Y'all have heard that before, right? I'm not telling you nothing new with that. All right? People can change their mind. Things and opportunities can grow on people over time, and their needs may change over time. And as they assess those needs, they may remember you. So are you leaving a lasting impression? Or are you making them want to get away from you faster? All right? So make it make sense. Number 4, this is the key. Control your response. I'll be honest, I've struggled with this before, right? Sometimes things are just so gosh darn simple. I'm like frustrated, but I get it. Everybody doesn't see what I see through my lens, right? They don't see the same thing. Just because we're looking in the same direction don't mean that we got the same viewpoint, right? So you have to be careful with that. You got to control your response. You got to stay calm. You got to stay composed, right? Polite. You never react emotionally, right? So I read a book, and I had to post it in the comments, and it talked about how we are in charge of our reactions. And when you think about how much power you have to that, it talked about removing anger as a quality completely out of your repertoire, completely out of your toolbox. Take anger out of arguments. No arguments, right? And when you think about that, you think about how when you're in a conversation, where your exits may be to avoid an argument. There is no reason for anger to be in your conversation. None. And you could think like, oh, that's not, what if somebody cut me off at the light? Am I supposed to stop and pat them on the shoulder and say, hey, you cut me off, I'm sorry, blah, blah, blah? Not necessarily. We're not saying be foolish. Have a conversation. But the moment anger starts to go ahead and exit. You know what? Hey, have a good day. No problem. I apologize. Maybe you're in a little bit of a rush. Have a good day. Hey, it's key. I'm telling you. A strong response earns respect. That's deep, right? And it keeps you going in the right direction. It keeps you in the running, right? It gets your foot in the door for better and future opportunities. I couldn't get that out for some reason. All right. So I want to wrap it up. Last thing I'm going to say is keep moving forward. I do not want any rejection to steal your momentum. You get a no, that shouldn't steal your momentum. You get rejected, you get a maybe later, you get that one call that you needed to just hit your sales goal and you didn't hit it because of this one, and now you're mad and you're trying to oversell them. And no, Don't let that steal your momentum. Rearrange, readjust, refocus, right? The most successful people have heard no more times than they want to, but they keep going. Rally for that no. Search for it. Keep going. Keep going. Show your value. Show your assets. Show what you bring to the table. Show the quality of service you're trying to provide or product. And I'm jumping all over as it pertains to what you're actually offering, but I hope you're getting a point. And like I said, just apply it to however you need to. And I said that was the last one, but it's one more. Rejection can be redirection. I want to make sure that sticks, right? Don't be afraid to readjust once the rejection happens. Don't be afraid. If you deny for a loan, or if you, like, what things do I need to do to improve? Sometimes rejection protects you from something that was already misaligned. Sometimes it's steering you away. Higher being, it could be a lot of things, right? It's steering you away so you can miss something that wasn't for you and get closer to the thing that was. Take that in relationships too. Every breakup isn't the baddest part of your life, worst part of your life. Sometimes it's good. That person wasn't ready for what you offer. Trust that what's meant to you will come. That's in every one of those situations that we just talked about, right? In life, relationships, business. I'm a firm believer. And I know sometimes it's tough. It's tough for me too, to believe that this wasn't the one. I thought this was it, right? I get it. That's a tough spot to be in. But I want you to stay focused. If you pray, I want you to pray. I want you to readjust. I want you to reassess your own value, equity, and keep pushing forward, right? So, I didn't want to make this super, super long, but I wanted to talk about mastering rejection and give you some feedback on that. We're going to keep it going. I want everybody responding with confidence today. I want everybody to get through their tough situations with a little bit more understanding that they have the value. They are the quality. They are the bacon being brought to the table. If you don't eat bacon, replace it with whatever meat. I go by Mr. J. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Thanks.